Hello and welcome to my channel again. This is Anita Horry from Anita Horry Academy and I am here to serve you. This is part 2 of the 3-part series of videos about how to hold the most effective and the most amazing Pilates workshop. So the first part held last week, we were talking about how to set up your workshop. From literally finding the dates and finding the title and making sure that you start to create the content to be able to create your workshop. Now we're going to be delving into how to promote it and how to hold our workshop. Now, as you know, one huge part of creating workshops and promoting workshops is having a very robust marketing strategy. So the marketing strategy is going to be extremely effective if you follow the steps through and through. And if you do like what I'm saying so far, do hit the like and of course, subscribe to my channel. It's not going to cost you anything, right? And it's also going to help me love you back by giving you a lot more content. And let's jump straight in today's video. So step 8, we are now at step 8 of creating our workshop. So in step 8, we're going to be creating a Facebook page, and a Facebook page is going to help us create an event that's going to be shared with other communities. So you should be able to use the graphics that you have created in the last week and get them ready to start preparing for your advertising for the event. Step 9 is setting up any technical requirements. So I always suggest in this day and age, we don't just hold live events. If you are going to be holding a live event, why not also promote it online? So set up a Zoom link where you'll be able to host the video as you are giving the event live. You'll be able to also be giving it online, and then you're catching 2 different markets at the same time. So holding that Zoom link, creating that Zoom link is going to be helping you generate a little bit more income. Now for paid workshops, I really do suggest that you set up a waiting room so that only paid participants are able to join the event. So make sure that when you're setting up your Zoom link, you set up a waiting room and you know who is going to be accessing the event. Step 10 is, of course, inviting your Facebook family and friends to share the event, to like the event and to share it within their communities, because that's going to be increasing the algorithm for Facebook, and you're going to be having your event promoted all across social media. Now, I'm using Facebook as an example. Facebook seems to be a very popular platform for us Pilates teachers, and especially if you are targeting a specific target client. Now, if I go back to my previous video from last week, where I talked about the workshop that I held for office workers who are maybe having some back problems and thus creating the Pilates for back pain event, and I knew that Facebook was going to be a very good platform for me to hold it on. Now, if you are attracting people who are maybe a little bit younger, more active people, you could be looking at Instagram and you could be doing things like Reels. And of course, there's no events that you can hold on Instagram, but you can also cross-post on all your different social media channels. The more it's posted out there, the more people get to know about it, and the more benefit you're going to be getting from the marketing results. Now, the other thing that you can do, and that takes us to step 11, is of course doing some social media advertising. And we're talking about Facebook marketing and of course Instagram, or even if you wanted to do some Google ads. Now, it depends on where you want to go with this workshop. You could just hold it to a small event, where especially if it is more of an in-house event, when you're only able to hold X amount of people, then of course there's no point of you making it known worldwide when you know people are not going to be able to reach you. But if you are trying to promote it online and then you are going to be accessing essentially the whole world, why not create these social media ads that are going to help promote your workshop and of course generate more interest and more money at the end of the day. Now, step 12 is going to be about planning the workshop content in detail. And my suggestion here would be that you chunk it down to 5-minute segments. So you know that you're going to be covering a particular type of content every 5 minutes, and you know that you're going to check in with yourself, with your time as you're running through the workshop, and you are not going to rush through the content, especially if you are restricted to a specific time, and then you're going to be overloading clients with too much information too quick that they won't be able to understand it. Step 13 is going to be about creating a guideline or a printable worksheet, anything that's going to be of value to your clients. So this is going to be important for them to give them a little bit more understanding about what the workshop was about, and they'll be able to refer to it later once the workshop is finished. If you are teaching specific exercises, make sure that you have clear directions and clear images of the exercises you're giving them. More importantly, if you are wanting to give them exercises, why not do short snippets of exercises, a small video that you'll be able to give them as they leave the workshop, or the participants that are joining you online, sending them the link to these workshops, to these little exercise videos, to this list of exercise videos rather, and then they'll be able to access it at any time they like. That is added value, guys. Step 14, and this step I have learned for many of the Tony Robbins workshops that I've attended. I really encourage you to create a workbook with a lot of fill in the blanks. Why? Because when you create fill in the blanks, it's going to keep your audience engaged. Whether they're present in front of you or whether they're online, if you get them to fill in the blanks and maybe ask them questions and they'll be able to answer the questions in their workbook, they're engaged, they're excited about it, they're participating, and that keeps them motivated. Make sure you make it visually appealing to maintain the interest in the workshop. And don't give them all the answers written down in the bottom. No, that's not the right way. The right way is to give them the answers during the workshop, and then they're engaged and they're writing the answer as you are giving the workshop. Because many people will feel, well, I've got the content, but I'm not really going to follow the workshop. No. Just make sure that they focus with you and they're present 100%, as it's really going to help them gain that value from attending the workshop. Now, in step 15, we're going to be sending workshop email number 2, ideally 5 days before the workshop date. Now, you can use this email to nudge those people who are still maybe on the fence and not quite sure whether they'll be joining the event, and remind them there's only 5 days to go. Give them that little bit of a rush and give them that bonus to say to them, hey guys, you're going to be joining this workshop. If you pay in advance, you're going to get a discount or a bonus or something extra. If you pay on the day, you're going to pay a premium. So it's your call. Give them that little bit of excitement about joining the event and agitation and anticipation that they're going to be missing something super important. Now, the next step is going to be step 16. This is about sending email number 3. And this is where you'll be chasing those people, last minute people who make their decisions last minute, to invite them to join the event. Again, remind them of that bonus, remind them of prepaying and getting a discount. And trust me, you will still get people who book last minute. And I know I've seen it in my events, and I know that many of my coaching clients see this as well in their own events, that people tend to leave things to the last minute nowadays. Even when I'm holding much bigger events like Pilates retreats, I see the pattern of people wanting to leave things last minute because people are still not sure. Since the pandemic, people are still not sure whether or not to make a commitment just in case something happens. So in doing that, you are making sure you still get to those people who are still maybe interested in attending but haven't actually taken the step yet. So send that 3rd email now. Now in step 17, we're going to be sending the 2nd email to those participants who have registered for the workshop. So the first email I mentioned to you last week where we send them a thank you and a welcome once they've paid. So once they've paid, they'll receive the email. Now, a day before the event starts, we need to make sure that we send them more details about the event. And also, if you haven't already done so, send them the Zoom link. If they are coming online, send them the access to their workbook if they are joining online, and any other information you want them to be aware of for joining your event. So if you are doing an event that is going to be held in a brick and mortar studio, and maybe it's where there's access issues where you know that you need to have a security guard to let them in, or etc. Make sure you give them all this information so that they are fully aware of what to expect when they come into the event. So make sure you don't miss anything in this very last email that you're going to be giving to the participants before they arrive. And in step 18, I want to remind you of the very final push to those people who are still not ready to join your event. You know, you can still manage to close in on some participants even within hours of the event. So if you want to close what we call the cart, you want to close booking registration before they come to the event, if they are doing it online, then you need to make sure that you send that final push and tell them, give them a deadline, give them a little countdown and saying this is the time where we're going to be closing the cart for this special offer. Then when you come to the event, or if you're paying online, you're paying on the day of the event, you are going to pay a premium. So make sure you keep chasing these bits, because you're going to be leaving money on the table if you don't. So last email, very last email, that will be the fourth email to those people who are still sitting on the fence, were interested, and they're not registering yet. Now, step 19, and this is going to be the final step for today's video. Consider having both a presenter and a technical person for your workshop. Now, regardless of whether you're doing an online event or whether you're doing an in-person event, always have a backup person with you. You can't be running an event on your own and running it professionally and managing a number of people and making sure that you're running the workshop on time, you have covered the content that you're planning to cover on time, or whether maybe you have slides that you want to show them, or maybe even that you need to be moving apparatus around if you are doing the workshop at your studio. So it's always good to have a backup. Now, if you are doing the event on Zoom, if you are doing it online, I really recommend you have someone as a backup on Zoom to moderate the meeting, to also allow people in, and you don't have to be doing that as well. And also to manage any questions that people give you through the chats on Zoom. And you don't need to be worried about looking at the screen while at the same time giving the event to the people who are live with you. Or if you are doing this event completely on Zoom, still have somebody there in the background to be able to manage all these little bits that perhaps you will get completely out of focus if you have to manage those and then having to run the workshop as well. Now, if it is a live event, I would really recommend that you do a few checks before you run the workshop so that you don't fall through the workshop when the clients are there. So that's it, guys. In video 1, we have discussed how to start planning your workshop. In today's video, we looked at the actual marketing of the workshop, how we can get more people to be engaging before they come to the event. And once you've started your workshop, what are we going to be talking about next? Well, guys, check out next week's video, because this doesn't end here. You need to make sure you follow through. Okay, so you're running the workshop, you're creating engaging content, you're giving out engaging content, but don't stop here. You are building a tribe. You are not here just to give them a workshop and then not see them ever again. So this might even be an opportunity for you to even get more clients to join your Pilates business. And if you are enjoying this video, if you are liking the video, please hit the like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to hit the bell to get notified every time I upload a video online. And if you do like the way that I'm working and the way that I'm coming out with this content, and you have some pains that you're going through into your business, do get in touch with me. I'm very happy to discuss how I can be of service to you. And if I can't be of service to you, I will always recommend that there's someone else that's going to help you. And if you still can't find anyone that perhaps can help you, we can guide you to something that you can look at online until the time where you find you can work with a coach. Until my next video, guys, goodbye for now.